So
Right.
it's like, why not?
Yeah, y'all are gatekeeping too. Y'all gatekeeping like respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And resources.
Mainstream being
And
considered
resources.
part of
Yeah.
America,
Right.
despite the fact we've been here the same amount of time as you.
Yeah.
Abee had brought up this topic of gatekeeping, this crab in the barrel mentality, because it's very hard sometimes for people to get ahead. One of the things that I really fuck with about us getting to meet Ray Vaughn is that you can see, despite the fact that there's different industries, you know, different levels of like clout, I guess, people were super down to earth. Was no gatekeeping, was not like, was just trying to like build
No
community.
talking down to people, nothing.
Some people, however, have a very bad problem with that. And it's not to say that it's not reasonable, because there are very much things that we should gatekeep. But let's begin. What do you think?
First of all, I just want to ask y'all this question. What are certain things in our culture that we should gatekeep?
From each other or from different?
From
Just
people in general.
I guess gatekeeping, you can determine like who you're gatekeeping it from. I think generally from like outside influence, I guess, like black cultural spaces.
Yeah, cultural
Like
spaces,
remember when
stuff
we
like
when we talked about that Becky Jew girl?
Yeah,
And they had like
the woman,
the black
yeah,
woman
COD tournament, the black woman's COD
tournaments,
tournament and stuff. Yeah,
I think that's fine.
things
to
like
have.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's completely fine, and not wanting like white people or other people involved in that is completely fine. It doesn't do nothing to sure.
Doesn't do nothing to anybody. Like what you talking about?
Yeah, and it's things that I've noticed too, is like any time where we would create something of substance, whether if it's a dance on TikTok, some flows,
You know
or
that
the lingo that we have, nigga, we do that shit and they look at it as it's less than, but then they ended up taking our shit.
They make all the bread
like,
off it.
Yeah.
Make all the bread
Don't
off
give
of
no
this shit. It's
respect to it.
ridiculous.
Literally every slang word probably in the fucking
Nigga, why
The white children
Where
saying
did it come
yacht
from?
in the suburbs right now. That comes from goddamn.
Yeah.
from niggas.
But you know how many people don't know where gyat comes from?
They don't.
No one.
There are people watching this who probably just learned where yacht came from.
Gyat,
Yeah.
if you don't know what gyat comes from, gyat is literally when you be like, God damn.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
It could mean like
AV.
some fuck shit happened.
mean some
God
fuck-
damn,
like,
man.
damn.
Or you can see somebody.
Yeah, if you see, like when you see
Like-
a bad bitch, you like,
But it's been
damn.
taken. It's been commodified.
She has a
what else?
small gat. What the fuck are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
What are you gonna say?
Especially like in Chicago, like people be like demonizing the shit out of Chicago, but then
Yeah.
will like use the lingo and like
Yeah.
the culture around the music.
Y'all
It's
all
like
OTF for some reason.
Yeah,
And none of y'all
everybody-
even know what.
Y'all don't even know what
Everybody-
you
OTF
live in the hills of California.
Everybody no limit and shit.
Everybody
Boy,
from
you Jews
63rd. and
Everybody
like,
from 63rd.
Like,
Take it
yeah,
over.
there are definitely elements where gatekeeping is positive because y'all don't put the due diligence to learn this shit.
Hell no.
Right. Like
or
the
even
problem of it.
experience the shit.
You can
like
be a
on some real
respectful. You
shit.
can be a respectful and like present guest within someone's culture without being a dickhead. It just so happens that most of the time in America, all y'all happen to be
Especially
dickheads when it comes
Americans,
to black
yeah.
people.
Bro,
shit.
it'd be Americans, not even, and sometimes it don't even be just black people shit. Be just right.
Yeah, well,
cultures in
Yeah,
general.
yeah, cultures in general.
Quesadilla. Fucking.
You ain't got the decency to put the
Yeah.
accent on it, nigga.
Like,
It's a
God
quesadilla.
damn.
Quesadilla.
And then people
Like-
would get mad at you for gatekeeping that shit and be
Right.
like, "Oh, why aren't you?"
You don't
expressing
even
with everyone?"
respect the
But like,
shit.
you don't
respect it.
respect it, nor will you even give us the props
Oh,
for
bro.
it. So
Right.
it's like, why not?
Yeah, y'all are gatekeeping too. Y'all gatekeeping like respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And resources.
Mainstream being
And
considered
resources.
part of
Yeah.
America,
Right.
despite the fact we've been here the same amount of time as you been.
Yeah.
Y'all been gatekeeping that shit for 200 years. Like fuck you. We'll continue on.
Bullshit.
So I say all that to say this. There are certain things that I believe should be gate kept or like people should show more respect towards.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
And there's one thing that I feel like shouldn't be gate kept, and that's like game. You feel me?
I feel
like
that.
Like among niggas.
among niggas, especially niggas.
Yeah.
Because
Especially.
the majority of the time when we're in positions of power, there's a lot of people that look like us that are actually in power and they don't like transferring
All
that power.
hidden folk, hidden folk.
Real.
There's a lot of people, yeah, who get that power, and it's kind of like we don't see nothing from it. And it's
Take
like,
us, take
Yeah.
us through it.
Take you
us
through it. So we have a clip that I want y'all to watch of $1 million worth game. First of all, shout out to them because they
Shout out
do
to the
be
pod.
they
Shout
do
out-
be
shout out Gillie Da
dropping
Kids.
$1 million
I fuck with
worth
both
of
of
game.
W.
I really,
But this
Damn, I can
take
tap in with them.
I really fuck
Yes.
with Wallow.
Yeah.
You don't know
Wallow.
I had never heard of them.
No.
You haven't heard?
No, I've probably seen a clip somewhere. But
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
You gotta
I
tap
really
in.
fuck with
Wallow,
I really
Wallow
fuck
is that
with
nigga,
Wallow.
bro.
Yeah, I was just
Wallow's
I really
really
fuck
cool.
with Wallow.
Wallow
I love
funny
to
as
get some
shit.
game from that nigga.
So like
Gillie funny as shit too.
I fuck with them like heavy, but this take, bro, that shit was ass.
Yeah,
I'm
this
not
a
gonna
weak
lie to
ass
you, bro.
take though.
Let me see.
let me speak on the passing of the guard, right? Because a lot of youngins, and I'm not speaking on you, but a lot of youngins in the game be looking at like, man, they've been doing it for so long, they don't want to put a young on, they don't want to pass it off, they don't want to, but you gotta understand at one time, say somebody like Funk Flex, somebody like DJ Cosmic Kev, who been at the radio stations forever, DJ Clue, DJ Greg Street.
Shout out to the
You feel what I'm saying?
Too.
At one time, they was young DJs,
Right.
just hoping to get on. You feel what I'm saying? Or LeBron James, he was a young player that was just hoping to get to the league. You feel what I'm saying? Now, when they get there, they trying to hold on to that shit as long as possible. Because after my dream is done, I also feed my family off this shit. LeBron James in his 23rd year, he ain't not once said this the new king. That trying to go out there and work the out. Now I'm not saying that you can't uplift some young niggas, help some young get in position, but the reality of it is, ain't no trying to put no other in a position to take his job.
I just feel like if you really believe that you that, then that shouldn't stop you.
If I'm an OG, right, and we all work different, and I see that young is that. I know that he's more in tune with the culture right now. Everything around the board. He young, he got me beat everywhere around the board. That young gotta come take my job. I can't put that young in position to get me out the way, and now I'm running around, can't feed my family. I think
it's too
That's
much
a
money.
good point.
Bullshit.
That's a good point.
but it's
And
only
I
a certain
think-
amount of positions that's right there.
Now you right.
What I'm saying.
You right.
You
But
feel
at the
what I'm
same
saying?
time, you right though. But at the same time, it's like, when are we going to shift from the individual mindset to the collective one? You know what I'm saying? Because what you just said is that go deeper than rap. That's just how we are as a culture, as people. You know what I'm saying?
I gotta
It's
get
on
mine.
me and mine. And it's like, it's not much, it's not enough of the collective idea of us. Like, where do we want to see this shit go in 20 years? You know what I'm saying? Like, and even still, it's like, just because you share your light or you shine your light on somebody else who's coming up and who might be more hungry, that don't mean that you necessarily push you compromise
That's a
your
fact.
position.
Let's real life talk about it. I was gonna say, and this is a lesson in nuance, because again, it was funny. Can't really ignore it. We just got to interview Rayvon and Joey Badass had a back and forth very recently. That's still not to say that point is not very correct.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna get to talk about it. It's gonna flow into your topic as well, because that is that capitalism Kool-Aid that a lot of niggas have been like drunk on.
Yeah.
Kool-Aid.
Capitalism
Yes.
Kool-Aid. That's
Because,
hard.
and what I mean by that is that these niggas will real life convince you that the reason for their like stinginess, the reason why they can't put a young nigga on in the spotlight is because they're gonna get their job took, then they gonna be on the side of the road. Nothing you're going to do to LeBron James is gonna put him on the side of the road.
No,
Exactly.
And
Gillie,
like,
you done
that's-
already
that's
such a
made
simple
millions,
set.
my nigga.
Yeah.
What I wanted to, it's such a simple mindset hearing like Gillie talk about the way he was talking about it. I want to add on to it. It's really the reason why we think about this as a culture when it's so individual set is the effect of us not having so much opportunity from
Yeah.
the past
It's low-key
to
a
now.
poverty mindset.
It's one of those things
really
when you especially as niggas, like, yo, role models are the niggas who made it out by getting, but they'll tell themselves they got it all on their own, and we'll get into why that also is not the most accurate thing, because at the end of the day, every turn, you're not shit without the next nigga behind you, and people who make music and everything aren't shit unless people listen to that music.
Right.
So no, you didn't do it yourself, but that's the capitalism Kool-Aid thing, where it's like the only key to changing your circumstances if I run up this bag, if I get this bread, that's cool, right? That's a good start. But to justify that 25 years in,
It's
when you're
insane,
going to
bro.
be comfortable afterwards, no, you're hanging on to that for your own ego, for your own.
that's
trying to
what
backward
it
justify it afterwards.
Yeah,
What that
that's one
does-
thing that I fuck with too, with what Joey Badass said, is because it's like, bro, if you know that you have the position that you're in that's locked down, you know that you're the best, you're doing the best that you
secure
can,
in it.
you're secure.
Yeah.
Why should it matter if another person is coming up? Yo, here's what I did to get to this position. It's not to say that they're gonna go and take your shit.
They're
They
probably
can start
not
their
gonna
own
spite
shit.
you unless, like, they're probably gonna like be grateful to you for
Right.
helping.
Bro, it really perpetuates a cycle in a sense. It's like if you look at, like how we were saying, he was saying like, you look at that one hot nigga and like he gonna be some, but you're not gonna put him in that position to not help him.
so
It's like
dumb, bro.
it's like with you, right? Like say you had that mindset, you gonna look at me and Matt and like, oh yeah, y'all got something, but I'm still not gonna put y'all on. You're going to look at every single hot nigga that's in that rap game, especially you being a podcaster, you're having all new rappers come in. What is your mindset
you
looking
fake.
at them? That makes you fake. You can't be
It's gonna
about
start to make you
A,
more
it makes
see-through.
you
The
fake.
more you do that shit, it's gonna make you more see.
A, it makes you fake, and B, it's a false like choice to get put in, because the reason why I have no problem with like y'all is because I've always believed in my heart of heart that like regardless of what I'm doing, each of us has the potential to be like the biggest in our field, and y'all do things that I can't do because you're human. You will not be the best forever, and there are things that people can cover that you can't cover. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry if it makes you mad. You're a grown ass man.
Oh,
Fucking deal with that.
Deal with it,
Yeah.
nigga.
There are gonna be times where people are gonna be more on it than you. And hey, if you are open to help that come on, you're not going to, it's a false dichotomy. You're not gonna fall into nothingness because a new nigga is the king of basketball.
Yeah.
You could be helping that next wave and that next generation, and they're
I-
gonna love you for that.
And I got a perfect example of that too, because when I first started doing the social media shit, I was heavy into GTA. Like I was the top nigga on TikTok for GTA
Nigga
for like a
smoking
long
niggas.
ass period of time. And then I seen these two other creators that did GTA as well. Shout out to Mr. O and Hi-Fi. Them niggas, I was at like what 600K and they were at like 130, 120. They're like damn near even. When I tell you them niggas just Mr. O's at like damn near 2.5 mil right now.
I've watched it
And
happen
high
so
stock-
many times in my
Yeah.
field
Bro,
too.
and it's like,
It
why
happens
on
in- it
earth
happens
would
in
I?
streaming all the fucking
Yeah.
It's like, why on earth would I look at them niggas with envy? Like, damn, bro, like they just passed me. I'm never gonna help. Like that's
Yeah,
stupid.
sport of
as hell,
competition,
bro.
okay, but like was mentioned earlier, if you're comfortable in the shit that you're doing and the success that you have, then you maintain that around people who are great too.
Right. Yeah.
There's not a nigga on this earth who's gonna sit in a room with me like political wise, and I'm gonna be like, oh, I have no idea. No, I'm still comfortable in what I know, but like I can have the conversation, cool, whatever. And if we're on the same side, then I'm looking forward to us being on the same side. I'm
Right.
not gonna hold that up because I don't carry that much ego about it.
I feel like as a young nigga though, you got more of a say to do some shit like that. Right?
Yeah.
Because I understand fighting for your spot, right? Like I feel like, especially with this Twitch shit, like I feel like I'm constantly thrown in positions where it's like, okay, I gotta collab with this, or I gotta do some shit. Somebody telling me to do some shit with this person.
Yeah.
Somebody telling me to work with this person. Somebody telling me XYZ, and I go through this constant battle of being like, okay, what do I do because I actually fuck with this genuine person? What do I do for the content? How do I maintain my own community? How do I retain my own, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like that you have much more of a say to do some shit like that now. Cause I ain't gonna lie, this all I got right now. You feel me? Like the jam, my what you on Matt, all of that shit, this all I got. This is how I put the food on the table, pay the bills, etc. So I get that now. At that point, you on a podcast called $1 Million a Game, and you and your cousin be in Lambos, and like y'all made it. Y'all got money. Y'all got bread. Y'all have done it already.
And no one's gonna
And mind you don't have a year in it. You got decades in it at this point, my nigga.
And then let's talk about it for real, because what you're saying is real, especially with Gil and Wallow, where they came from. That's a big thing. Who they be around, and let's talk about it. Y'all had a crazy deal with Barstool. No one's taking your job.
What you mean?
No one's saying, and that's what I was gonna say. It's like I understand as like a younger person, like having that drive and the ambition, but the thing that's so self-centered about that viewpoint is that it assumes that the nigga coming up hasn't had to fight that battle.
Yeah, right.
Hasn't had to think
all,
like, all
it's been an uphill
I gotta
battle the whole fucking
You think that we're
time.
asking to just be like handed the spot? No, stop. Can we stop
I was
the
gonna
fucking
say,
hand down shit?
No,
yeah.
but some people do.
Yeah.
And that's the shit that you got to look out for. Some
Yeah.
people do be like, Matt, how you start
Yeah,
streaming?
no.
That's
okay.
a different
That's what I was gonna-
conversation.
That's where gatekeeping is
Yeah.
necessary. 'Cause I feel like you have to be serious about the field. Nobody if you're coming up to a Gillie or if you're coming up to one of us or someone in a different space, and you're asking them
Hey
for
man,
advice,
how do you start
how
this?
to do it.
And you ain't got nothing.
Yes,
You
the
ain't got
cardinal-
nothing.
Watch the YouTube video yet?
As content creators, the cardinal sin to ask a content creator is like, how do I record this thing?
But-
How do I edit this thing? That's like, okay, you gotta go through the storm and learn how to do that, or like get that from somebody. Cool. That's a different thing than saying like, oh, a Josh Doss is
coming to your
like coming
podcast,
to the
do you wanna
podcast,
have him on or some
and because
shit?
and I'm like,
we don't want that.
We don't want
or
that.
the other way because he's older than me. He's like, nah, you young buck. I'm not finna. That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
You were
that's
fighting for the
ridiculous.
same thing.
At the same time,
Literally.
you're hurting the culture more.
You're
than
hurting
helping
it.
it.
Yeah.
The first thing is so different because, like you said, they take that level of grind. You have to actually get there.
Yeah.
And you can call it arrogant if you want. Like, I'm gonna keep it a beam. My ears turn off when somebody tell me that.
Yeah, and-
Because
but yeah, and-
call it arrogant. I only got 4,000 on Instagram, so call it arrogant. But I say like,
You've been doing
I
this since
actually done put in blood, sweat, and tears in this shit
Yeah.
since I was
Yeah.
9 years fucking old.
Yeah, and that
Like,
makes sense because
you know what
nigga,
I mean?
you
Like,
don't. And that makes
actually,
sense
yeah.
because nigga, we don't have it yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and I got the proof. That's what I'm saying. And I got the proof to show niggas that, and that's a literally that is a indirect correlation to just a mindset of understanding. Okay, I'm going into this field with the intent to make something happen.
Right. Yeah.
You're not serious about it if you don't already got a track record of shit. Once you ask me that question,
Very valid.
then I can give you the game. You feel what I'm
And
saying?
the thing about that too is like when we get to that position where we are at the top of what we can do, and even then it's still a bigger.
It's always
bigger
gonna
space
be
to
people
go.
that
Somebody
pass
always gonna
us.
keep going.
If
Always gonna
somebody,
be- yeah.
if a different podcast called the Maj comes around and they got their shit going for them and they ask us, yo, how did you do this and that? Why the fuck would I not give them any game and just let them? That's that mentality that I hate. It's like you have the tools to help somebody, but you're gonna let them struggle.
I can give you
the-
game on how I
what
got here,
Joey-
but that doesn't mean you're gonna prevent me on getting
Yeah.
somewhere else.
What Joey Badass said that I really fuck with was if you have it, you have it. In a sense of
Yeah,
what
that too.
elevates the game is that natural form of competition.
Yeah.
I want you to be like, okay, like I want your spot because it's going to make me
That's
fight for my
that's
spot,
what's
because I know
more
I have
egregious
it.
about what he said, because it's not even like a debatable does this nigga have, because I know you don't have it if you're asking me how the fuck to make a YouTube video.
Yeah.
I know you don't, but you're saying no, I know as the nigga that you do have it. I see this talent. I know that he's more on it. You still not going?
That's crazy.
What the hell? If like he
kinda
came up to me
crazy.
and was like, yeah, I've been making content since I was 10, bro, and I'm trying to like figure out like a way, like these captions, like trying to figure, and I'm
I
like,
look at
oh,
this shit, I'm like, oh
shit,
shit.
that's real.
Like,
yeah,
he
yeah,
going
like,
crazy?
And it makes you
For me to
Yeah,
look
I
at
make
that
them
and be like,
captions.
nah, that's
Look,
hate.
That's hate.
real
That's
spill.
hate shit.
When I had that moment in my career, I would say, right, where I really started, and it comes in waves all the time, but I would say one of the biggest moments I had where I started having like that identity crisis was when I was looking at people in the streaming community and they getting more viewers than me and they getting more followers than me and they doing all these things. And nowhere in that was I like, nah, I'm gonna just never do no. I was like, okay, I gotta work harder. I gotta start. I gotta show you niggas that like I deserve to be here the same way. Like no, we can coexist, but I ain't finna get left in the dust. That's that level of competition where it's like, okay, that is something that can be nurtured and then grow into whatever. You know what I'm saying? You could grow that into a collaboration. You can grow that into helping the community because you and that person are doing good things.
Yeah.
Right.
And the other shit is hating. The other
that's
shit is straight
hating,
up.
bro.
I remember like first starting off doing my shit, and I remember like I was constantly looking at niggas like, okay, this is a competition. Like it's you, like
It's you
me and
versus
you,
me, nigga.
dead ass. And I remember it gave me such a bad mindset with
Yeah,
it,
'cause you're not
and it
focusing on your
almost
shit.
stunted me because it's like one, I'm not secure in my own self. Because if I'm looking at another person so intimidated rather than inspired, I'm not secure in my own ability to get in that
That's
position.
To inspire.
Right.
Exactly.
That's a
So-
fast track to destruction right
Hell
there.
yeah.
That is
Hell
the
yeah.
main way to chaos.
Nigga, it's supposed to be
It
you
should
and
be.
you.
Exactly.
That's the only person you see in
And
the
any
mirror.
person that is at your level or about to pass you, you should only look at them with inspiration. It should never be in the
Motivation,
sense of,
yeah.
oh no, I need to keep putting you down.
And I was
'cause you
gonna
can't get ahead of me.
say that putting people down is one of them things that is kind of like indicative of that when you let that money devalue the message and devalue the goal that you're trying to go for. Thank you for watching this long. If you haven't already, subscribe. What are you doing?
What is you doing?
What are you doing? You think we just sitting here doing it for nothing?
You think you're gonna sit here and not do
need
shit?
to
Like, hear this shit.
I know you're not subscribed. Click it. Cool.